Good evening and welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. I wanted to give you a sense of my week this week on the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960 every night at 6 o'clock. On Monday, I've got Dwayne Richards. He is a very smart financial planner, and he's going to talk a lot about financial planning, having goals, having a cash flow. He's called it the 5 pillars of financial success. And particularly as we come close to the new year, when lots of people end up making some New Year's resolutions and thinking about, what they want to do and achieve in the new year, I think it's really helpful to listen to someone like Dwayne and get a sense of what we want to do. On Tuesday, I got Rick Anderson. Rick Anderson is a principal with Earnscliffe Strategy. He's a long-term politico, very involved in the Reform Party, and now very involved in alternative energy. And he attended COP26 in Glasgow, and he's going to give us his views of what happened, whether COP26 achieved anything, what the implications are for industry in Canada, and for all of us. And I think that'll be interesting. On Wednesday, I've got Mark Brakowski. He is the president of Mercantile Merchant Banking. He specializes in mid-market acquisitions and dispositions. But we're going to talk about China and debt and this big real estate company in China that is teetering on collapse and has been for a while. And he thinks that the world was paying attention initially, but has forgotten all about it and at its peril. And it could end up being one of the big stories of the rest of this year, if not next year, particularly obviously if it defaults on its interest payments and defaults on its debt, and that it's going to have big implications on property management, real estate in China, but more importantly on the whole capital market system around the world because of how intertwined it is with the balance of the world from a debt standpoint. On Thursday, I've got one of the most interesting gentlemen I know, Scott Morrill. He is a event producer in Hollywood, in Los Angeles, as well as in New York. And what he does is live entertainment events. He does big shows. He does variety shows. He does award shows. He does Broadway productions. He does it from the business standpoint, marketing and promotions and event production. He's an executive producer on a lot of these different events. He knows so many different performance stars that you know well, so intimately. He's got a great story about how Joan Rivers is the reason why he actually was able to have a child, or his family was able to have a child. He's got some incredible stories with Liza Minnelli, Frank Sinatra, and his attention to detail, and how we would always be the best he could be. Scott Morrill, a wonderful, interesting gentleman who's been in the production world for entertainment for over 35 years. And then on Friday, I've got another interesting guy that's sort of in that world, Henry Calderon, who is a fashion model and a polo player. And he's one of the most interesting men in Toronto that I've met over the years, always with sunglasses on, always with a great tan, always very fashionable, always at the places that one needs to be at, particularly obviously before COVID. But a really interesting guy and a really fascinating career as he's become one of these icons on the runways of Toronto and elsewhere. So that's my week this week. Dwayne Richards on finance, Rick Anderson on the environment and COP26, Mark Bukowski on real estate, markets, debt, and the capital market system, Scott Morrill on live entertainment, and Henry Calderon on fashion. So pretty varied. I enjoy the varied nature of my job. And then next week, the week before Christmas, I've got a couple of different performers. They're going to do Christmas memories and Christmas stories and Christmas music. And I'm looking forward to that. And then the week between Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to have some people talk about New Year's resolutions and maybe some people that are fortune tellers or people that think they can tell the future or use cards to figure out what our futures are. So that's upcoming in the next little while. I have had the chance of interviewing a plethora of different interesting people from all walks of life on the show, and I really love it. I enjoy it. I hope you get to listen to some of my shows. Thank you very much. I'm on every Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock, 9:60 a.m. You can stream me online at www.saga960am.ca. You can get all my podcasts and video casts after the fact on briancrombie.com, my own website, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and my podcasts are on Audible, Apple, and Speakeasy. Thanks for joining me. Good night, everybody. Have a great Monday.